not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And it's about time I did my Blake Kyle Rettenhouse video. And I tell you this right now. People talk about martial law. You know, I'm convinced that a lot of Americans want martial law. You know, especially what I'm saying, the Blue Lives Matter crowd, and Blue Lives Matter couldn't technically the Crips adapt that mantra, Blue Lives Matter, but never mind that. What I'm saying? People really don't care about law enforcement. They don't care about law and order as long as you keep the dregs of society or the undesirables in their place. This is why Blue Lives Matter had their symbol is the Punisher skull. And the Punisher, that's what he does. He punishes people and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's very extreme. And Punisher comic books are extremely gory and violent. You know what I'm saying? Compared to an X-Men comic book or a Superman comic book and so forth. Now, as far as Jacob Blake, my thing is, if somebody is headed on a path of self-destruction, I'm like, just, what I'm saying, let them be their own demise. Once you have a police officer that, what I'm saying, that's just very disrespectfully just unloads in his back like he was an animal, you know what I'm saying, then, you know what I mean, this is where the problem begins. Now, people will look and say Jacob Blake, he's a multiple felon, he had warrants for his arrest, he's a sex offender or what else. Well, Jacob Blake, he was headed for a dead-end street if he continues on this path. He could have been just another nameless person sitting in a jail cell being miserable. But instead he has become a martyr. Well, he's not dead, so let's say a demi-martyr and so forth. If you're a police officer, do what you're getting paid to do. Uphold law and order. Don't make up the rules as you go. Same thing with George Floyd and all these other guys. They try to bring up their past and so forth, and they said, what about what he was doing, and maybe he didn't cooperate with the police and so forth. Well, if they was on a troubled path, let them go down that path. You know what I mean? They're going to be miserable. They're going to sit back and reflect on their life, on the bad decisions they make in life. But when you have the Terminator, who wants to be the judge, jury, and executioner, yeah, it's going to make people think that, hey, this whole entire system is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to say, no wonder why we have Jacob Blakes. No wonder why we have, gangbangers and drug dealers. Look how fucked up the system is. Nobody's the good guy. And that's the thing. Now, as far as Kyle Rettenhouse, it seems like everybody has become a lawyer, a social media lawyer and a detective, and defending Kyle Rettenhouse. I'm like, first of all, let's look at this dude. This dude seems like an incel, for real. I'm like, 17 years old, man. You need to be out there with your girlfriend, and so forth. Not traveling 30 minutes away to another goddamn city wanting to defend some businesses that you would never patron in an area that you don't fucking care about. You know what I mean? So you got these militia types going into a neighborhood they'll never go into that neighborhood and help the businesses, help the people in this neighborhood. They see riot, they just want a reason to strap on their gun. Kyle Rettenhouse himself violated multiple laws, and then these people are coming to his defense. As I said, they don't give a fuck about law and order. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody punishes people that they deem a criminal or people that they don't like, they don't care about law and order. And here, I forgot to bring this up. When you're talking about somebody's past, talking about their past and so forth, I'm like, America has a past. So you're trying to tell black people to get over slavery, to get over Jim Law and so forth, when you can't even get over somebody who has committed a crime in their own past that they've already paid a debt to society for. You know what I'm saying? Completely hypocritical. You know, and going into Kyle Rettenhouse, there's a guy a YouTuber by the name of Donut Operator. Now, Donut Operator is pro-police, but I kind of respected his videos because he tried to trim on the side of logic and try to be fair, unlike Officer Tatum, which I got a video coming out for Officer Tatum. He don't for a second forget ever think that Officer Tatum did not pass through my radar. You know, I'm working on that as we speak right now. But you know, so Donut Operator comes out with a video saying, first he comes out with one video saying that, yeah, Kyle Rettenhouse did violate these laws, he shouldn't have been there, so forth. He got so much flack for it, he came back and did another video. Now he's defending Kyle Rettenhouse. I'm like, the guy seems like he want to suck his dick. They're making this guy seem like he's like this brave, this hero and so forth, when we all know he was there to antagonize and cause trouble. Supposedly they showed a video of Kyle Rettenhouse with these gloves on, saying with a med pack. So I'm going to also help the people that are injured and so forth. Oh, what a good Samaritan! And look how that's turned out. Now here on my keychain, I have a Centers pack, meaning that I've actually went through a Centers course. You know what I'm saying? I'm like trained in first aid and first response through a 2-day Centers course that, you know what I'm saying, that I participated in. I also got a card, but I can't find my card. You know, I wonder if Kyle Rettenhouse went through that Centers course. You know, we should have got on camera and said that, hey, you know what I'm saying, I got certified for Centers to be a first responder. You know, and so forth. And, you know what I'm saying, and they're trying to play YouTube lawyer. You know, because he has all these charges mounted up against reckless homicide, endangering the public, which he's guilty of everything. And then they said, well, he's trying to defend businesses. Well, what business? He standing up in front of a boarded up business that was caught on fire the day prior. At first they said, oh, it was a furniture store. Oh, it was car lot. Make up your damn mind. It's like me going someplace and say, hey, I'm going to go fix somebody's car, and then the car ends up, I end up messing up so bad, the car ends up worse than it was, and then I end up shooting the owner of the goddamn car. You know, I'm like, he shouldn't have been out there. He should have been on a fucking date with a girl. I'm 17 years old. I'm not saying I'm going to be out there, but I might, as a 17-year-old kid, I'll be out there to look, you know, participate in a protest. I'm like, you know, 17-year-old, I'm not going to have a gun guarding a business that I would never patron in a city that I don't even go to. You know what I mean? Kyle Rettenhouse looks like a dang incel. I'm like, you can't look at this dude and say, hey, there's something wrong with this dude. You know, I'm like, they say he got bullied in school, and you know, he went to a predominantly white school, so they can't blame that on black people. The dude is he's sort of an antisocial loser. You know, he's the wrong guy to be out there and so forth. And if he was there with the other group of militia guys, why didn't any of them get in trouble? Why didn't any of them shoot anybody? Why didn't he stay in the group? Why do we see him running around all over the place? And then on top of that, he was too young to carry a rifle. And he carried a rifle beyond state lines. Now his defense team are scrambling. They're probably putting words in his mouth. You know what I mean? And they saying like, well, he didn't travel across straight lines with a gun. It's his friend's gun. So his friend said, hey, I'm going to lend you my AR-15. First of all, the dude doesn't have any friends. You know, especially some friends out of state. You know, like, I got a friend over in another state. I'm gonna go pick. No, that was his AR. They're trying to mount up this defense. And now with this videos of all kind of hectic things going around, people moving fast and so forth. They're trying to make out what happened. They're trying to say, you see, here this gun. Everybody's trying to be a fucking. I hate YouTube detectives and YouTube fucking lawyers. Also, you have to understand why the mob. They said the mob was running after him. They see a dude with a gun. They don't know his intentions are. He's not a uniformed officer. It's easy for people who sit in the luxury of their own fucking home watching a goddamn YouTube video. They're going to say, well, he's defending businesses. He's out there doing something noble. I'm like, the people who are actually on the ground, you know what I mean? The people who are actually there, they don't know that. And even still, even if they do know that, they know he shot somebody. They were making a citizen's arrest. They themselves were trying to restore law and order. If you was out there, you seen some kid who looks like this dude plays fucking Call of Duty 35 hours a day, walking around with a gun. I'm like, what do you expect? They themselves are trying to go out there and save lives. And also, when he shot one of the guys, Rosenbaum, there's people that brought up Rosenbaum's past, the 36-year-old he shot. They're bringing up his past and saying, well, he was a convicted sex offender of some sort. Once again, using people's past to assassinate their character. And once again, I can say, well, look at America's past. Don't tell us to forget about slavery and all this other stuff when you can't look past an individual's past and so forth. I'm like, and then the second guy that they shot, they said, well, I'm like, you cannot use deadly force to protect the business, first of all. You can't use deadly force against and then assume somebody's going to attack you. Assume this and assume that. I'm like, this isn't Florida. Think about the incident in Florida where a guy was arguing with a woman of being parked in a handicap space. A guy shows up and push him. He pulls out the gun and unloads into this guy. Now that guy, I forgot the name. People know the story. He actually got convicted and went to jail. This is very similar to what Kyle did, antagonizing people, shooting people. And then the first guy he shot, he tried to do the noble thing and call 911 and say, hey, I shot somebody and so forth. And then some people started to come and he ran. And then the people who defended him assumed that, yeah, he ran because there was an angry mob. He didn't know that. I'm like, if you shoot somebody in self-defense, you're supposed to stay there. You know what I mean? You're supposed to call somebody and this and that. But they said, well, he had to keep it moving because the mob was after him and so forth. As I said, they was trying to restore law and order. Yes, they don't know. They think there's a crazy madman with a gun, which they wasn't wrong. And then when we see white privilege go as he hold his hands up when the cops go by him, and then the cop talk about, well, in a situation like that, you have tunnel vision. You're looking at the site. Bull fucking shit. In a situation like that, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. If you see a fucking raccoon in a tree, you gotta be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? There's a raccoon in a tree. I'm like, shouldn't you be more aware instead of like, oh, there's a fire over there. Let's not bunch to it, and let's not look to the side because we gotta go and we gotta deal with that in front of us. I'm like, no. I'm like, you're supposed to have eyes and ears all over the fucking place. You remember the ending of that movie, The Mist? You know, at the ending where the soldiers came in and they was going to eliminate the monsters that came from another dimension. The ending of the movie, The Mist. Notice how the soldiers came in. They seen a fucking hive in a tree. They set it on. They was looking around. They was looking at anything that's a possible threat. And the thing is, now, if that was a black guy, they would have got him. And still, Kyle Rettenhouse could have been pointing, let's say he was pointing a gun at the police officers. I know they would have saw that. And that's the whole thing. That's the reason why everything is going to shit. That's the reason why this country is not going to have a happy ending. It's going to keep going on. If you're about law and order, you should be about it. You know what I mean? You should be like, yeah, Kyle Rettenhouse broke a bunch of laws and he should go to jail. Just like Jacob Blake should have went to jail or so forth. You can't just you can't contradict yourself. You know, that's why we have these problems. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and never stop learning.